secrets, obviously. We've watched a few episodes, and he seems like he might be in on the know what's going on things.
He does seem like someone who might have a little more knowledge than the general population, which makes it all the more confusing that I've sent Matt Dillon on this top secret mission. Since I'm not only his boss, but I'm also a lifelong friend of his, and I was there for the birth of his child, etc., etc. So I'm very close with his family, to the point that I remember pulling Knight aside, and he would hint to me, because people are like, "Oh, you're playing Adam Hassler? Have you read the books?" I'm like, Adam Hassler. So I had to say, I'm like, why are all these people tweeting me about? You are such a, come to find it, yes. Yeah. And so it's exciting because every character has so many layers, and nobody's who you think they are entirely. And Hassler is no exception. So
you didn't know that coming right into it then?
I did not know. My God. I'm like, I'm America's sweetheart. What is going on? But I did try to bring some. Well, yeah, I can't. Now they're going to get American Sniper right in my nerd.
Well, you mentioned the books. Have you read them since?
Well, here's the thing. Chad Hodge, he's like, you really need to read this, and he gave me some things that were very Adam Hassler specific. Apparently there's a whole subgenre of fan fiction where people have taken Adam Hassler and I'm like, this is interesting. Okay. So I did feel it was, but at the same time, I was a little like Terrence Howard. I don't know if you've heard this story, but Terrence did not want to know what was coming week to week, and that's why he does such incredible work, because he's a little bit like Christopher Walken takes out the punctuation. He's like, I want to fly without a net. And I thought, actually, I was like, I'm gonna steal that. I don't want to know everything. I want to know some things. And then that was sort of what they hinted. They were like, there's a lot of layers to Hassler.
So for someone who hasn't read the book or doesn't really know too much about this series yet, can you introduce the series and your character?
Well, so that's a great question, and actually, I would count myself in that. I'm a latecomer to the book. All I know is M. Night Shyamalan shot the pilot. It's very in his world. He has a very specific vision, and that's what I wanted to see, because I sort of saw, if you love The Twilight Zone, or if you love sort of like these, there's so many great, and the cast that they assembled for it. That's what I would say. You just tune in for. Sometimes I don't even need to. I didn't know what True Detective was going to be about. I just was like, who's Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson? I know those two are buddies. I just want to see that. So when you get this cast, all A-list actors, all with different approaches, and I think you've heard about everybody's different. Watch what happens when those actors interact. When you get somebody like Matt Dillon, who likes to prepare, and Terrence Howard, who is like a free spirit who will just jump right off the page. It's pretty electric to see what happens. And, the fact that everybody's such a pro, that it's really exciting to see what everybody brings to it.
I think a couple of us talked to you at Comic-Con last year.
But, that was my first Comic-Con.
Well, I don't know where you guys were in the filming process, but it's been almost a year. You got to be chomping at the bit to get this out there.
Oh my God! It's like I've gone off and I've filmed I was telling people, it's like it was a crazy year, because I went off and did American Sniper, and I was off in Robot, and I came back to the States, and Wayward Pine still wasn't out. I'm like, what is going and then I just went off, and I did the new Joel Edgerton movie, and I came back, and Wayward Pine still wasn't out. But what I love about it is it seems that they took their time, and they're doing a massive rollout. This feels like this feels like the War of the Rings. I only watched the first 3. How many did you watch? So I will say, it does. Yeah. And I gotta say that there were times that I'd show up on the set, because Hassler sort of also exists, not just in the realm of Wayward Pines. He's sort of holding down
Secret Service,
Seattle and whatever. So there were times that I'd show up to set, and I was obviously on the wrong set, and people would be like, "It's like, no, take Tim out of this set." And I'd say, it was like I just wanted to get out my phone and be like, "What the hell is that?" Really cool, I must say. It's so many cool things. So, and I like that they have this is what I've heard. The reveals come fast and furious, and you know, I might have said this back at Comic-Con, but I'm a huge fan of Lost, and I've done a few movies with J.J. Abrams. But I remember I cornered him one time, and I'm like, you can't string me along for 7 seasons to find out that the polar bears are in the zoo. Like, you gotta be a little more generous with. Don't send all the reveals. If anybody watched that show, the reveals all came out in the last 3 weeks, and I'm like, I'm watching the freaking show. But Wayward Pines, it's like every week they're like, they killed that person. Where are we? It was pretty amazing.
So when you got the scripts, were you just like?
Oh yeah. The pages? And the funny thing was, I remember getting the advanced first 5 scripts, and 4 and 5 were not supposed to be viewed by the actors. And they came in, they took them away, and I hadn't read it yet. I'm like, God. So it's and I'm used to working around secrecy. So, but as a fan, I kind of want to just let it. I just want to go on the journey too. It's really fun to see stuff scenes that you weren't in. Like when I went back and watched the first episode, what were they doing out there? So I heard some stories, but man, it's really cool. And I'm such a fan of all the actors. It was a great shoot for me. I'm so happy that it's coming out. Finally.
Well, we kind of suspected there might be something going on more with Ethan's wife. Is there something going on there, or is that just something they're kind of hinting at? Between me and Ethan's wife? Is he just a concerned boss, or is he kind of got his personal angle? I'm going to let that play out. I'm close to both of them. So possibly. Yes. Well, that's why I say nobody's all the way good, all the way bad. I think everybody's got a sort of gray area of morality. And if you've seen I won't give away. I'm happy that they make reveals about even my character, and I didn't know when they were going to place some of these reveals, so I was really happy that they were sort of just leading with it.
What are you allowed to tease about what's coming up in the next few episodes?
I will say, and because I think Fox approved this and they're looking over it, that in the 4th episode, there's something so major, such a major reveal that, it's really, it'll blow your mind. I don't even know if I should say. The fate of a couple characters are determined, and a huge a big swath of the mystery is revealed, leaving obviously many layers up, but it's really satisfying as a person, because I actually didn't know when they were going to make some of these reveals. So that's the real cool. I think they do a great job of establishing everybody, these great characters. I mean, Juliette Lewis, and that was just... I think somebody should do some trivia, how many Oscar nods were in this cast? It might... I don't know. I was like, this is an all-star cast. I'm happy to be the utility infielder, but...